Let's keep improving the Airbnb listing you created by editing it further. First, click on Listings at the top of your Airbnb account. This will show all your listings. Then, on the left side, click Listing Editor. Inside, you'll see two main sections, Your Space and Arrival Guide. Let's start with the Your Space section. Here, you can see the name, title you gave to your listing. If you want, you can change it. Then, in Property Type, if there's any mistake, you can fix it. For example, if it's an apartment, more details might be asked. You can specify if it's a service apartment, condo, rental unit, etc. If it's a house, you'll need to say what kind of house it is. Keep in mind, if you change this, Airbnb will review and verify it again, so it's important to provide accurate details. You can also fill in details like the number of floors, the year it was built, and its category. Don't forget to click Save at the bottom left when you're done. Moving on to pricing, smart pricing is often turned on, and discounts for weekly or monthly stays might be already set up. Under Availability, you'll set the minimum stay, 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. Most people set 1 day. You'll also be asked to set the maximum stay, which you can decide based on your preferences. Next comes the description. Make sure each section is filled out properly. For your property, describe the place, and for guest access, explain how guests will enter. Filling these out well will make sure your listing gets noticed by more potential guests. If there's missing information, fewer people will see it. Then, in the Interaction with Guests section, describe how you'll communicate with them. If you need help writing, you can use AI to assist you. In the Amenities section, click Edit and update all details. For example, if you mention AC, make sure to specify the type. Many people skip editing these, but leaving them incomplete can affect your listing. Just click the pen icon, make your changes, and save. For outdoor dining area details, make sure to specify how many people can dine there by entering the number of spaces. If you've added anything by mistake, remove it, and if you want to add something new, click the plus icon on the far right. Now, under Accessibility, let guests know if your place is accessible for people with disabilities or the elderly. If you have features like a wide entrance or lights that turn on at night, mark them as yes and add photos. Airbnb will review and confirm these details. Next is the address. This part is very important. If you have a co-host helping you, their details, as well as their payments, can all be managed through the system. As mentioned earlier, you'll decide whether to turn on instant booking or not. This is crucial because it determines if guests can book right away or if you want to approve their booking after receiving a message. Don't forget to save your choice. Next are the house rules, which are super important. Things like check-in and check-out times, whether you allow parties, pets, or if there's a noise limit, all of this can be set here. If you have any additional rules for your homestay that guests should know, be sure to include them here. If not, it could lead to problems later. Next, we need to think about safety considerations. We have to mark whether this place is suitable for young children. After that, we'll check the safety devices. Read each one, and if you have it, mark it as yes, and if you don't, mark it as no. Once you've done that, make sure to save all your changes. After, check if there are any stairs, noise issues, or other small details to mark down. Next, we need to choose a cancellation policy. There are different options, like whether guests can cancel a day before or 3 days before their stay. Take a good look and mark your choice. If you select a non-refundable option, it means you'll reduce the price by 10%, but guests won't be able to cancel. This is an important choice. If guests do cancel, with the right option marked, you still get the money. Think carefully about the options and add them as needed. We just talked about short-term stays. Long-term stays have different rules. Now, there's something called a custom link. After Airbnb.com/h, you can add a short, memorable name for your homestay. You can copy this link and share it on social media to promote your place. Now, let's go to the Your Space section and check out the arrival guide. Here, we can add details about check-in and check-out times, directions, and how guests will check in, like if there's a smart lock or a key. You can also add photos and any other important instructions. When you add Wi-Fi details, you can log in from your phone and check the Wi-Fi speed. This is done using the Airbnb app. Next, there's a house manual. This is where you add checkout instructions, like whether guests need to empty the rubbish bins before leaving. Make sure to include all these instructions. The guidebook is like a small guide for guests to learn about the area. You can click the plus sign to add information or delete anything unnecessary. It shows guests local attractions, neighborhoods, and places to walk to. This info appears when you enter your homestay's address, and you can pick relevant details to include. Finally, there are options for how we interact with guests, interaction preferences. We need to specify whether we will be available or not, and if we are open to meeting them when they are required. Make sure to save your preferences. Now, if you click the 3 lines at the top, you can temporarily hide your listing. You can also set guest requirements, like whether you need to see their profile photo. Plus, you can add information about local laws and taxes. If you want to completely remove your listing, you can click Remove Listing at the bottom and write the reason for removing it. I hope this helps you edit your Airbnb listing easily. Keep learning on your own to improve your homestay. Best of luck!